It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball! Hey! It's our ball! It's our ball! Can he shoot? Yes, I can shoot.
Let's shift topics here. Let's get into some college basketball talk because James Nanjiani or Nanji or however you say his name, playing for Baylor University. Nanji, okay, thank you. Playing for Baylor University. I think he just played his first game the other day.
Yeah. He didn't even start, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, but just an NBA player making their way to college basketball. I completely disagree with it. Like, I think that it's a bad look for the NCAA, and it just doesn't. It's not what the NCAA should be. The NCAA is amateur players.
Yeah.
So I guess, what are your thoughts? Yeah.
It's like they open Pandora's box, and like just the butterfly effect from NIL is just unbelievable. Like, I never saw this coming when they started to say that they'll start to pay college athletes. I don't know if you would have ever imagined this in your wildest dreams.
No.
I certainly didn't. But now what's next? Like, there's a big lawsuit that's happening right now between Diego Pavia and the NCAA where he's trying to sue for another year of eligibility. Well, what happens if he wins that lawsuit? Players are just going to be able to play forever, and they're just going to decide to never like age out. Like, what, they're going to graduate with 6 degrees? Like, what are we doing here? And I know on the basketball side, we actually like came to a solution, and I don't want to be the one to take credit for it because this was your solution. So I'll pass it back over to you to explain this because I think that we actually figured out this issue.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about this, like in the NHL, when you can be drafted by a professional team, you can be drafted by an NHL team out of college, and you don't have to play right away. Like the NHL, there's a lot of development that goes into it. You see first round picks all the time, even top 5 picks take 2 or 3 years before they actually make the jump to the NHL. And so with these NCAA players, and especially now with junior hockey players being able to make their way to the NCAA, you can hold their rights for, I think it's 3 or 4 years. You can hold the rights of an NCAA player. And
I'm pretty sure it's
as
3.
As long as they don't sign, you get to hold on to them and they can continue to play and develop in the NCAA. And I think if this is where we're headed with NIL and everything in basketball, especially because you can be one and done in the NBA, whereas college football, we talked about this as well. Like college football, you have to play 3 or 4 years college football before you can make that jump to the NFL, right? And so from there, I understand going straight into the league, but some of these NBA players, they could use some extra time to develop, right? And so you can, if you make a rule where you can draft a guy, hold on to their rights for a few years, let them develop in the NCAA, as long as they don't sign a contract, that's totally fine. But once a contract is signed, there's no way a player should be able to stay in the NCAA or go back to the NCAA when things don't work out for them in the NBA, like James Nanji.
Yeah, and the thing is that in hockey, that's how it is. Like, if you sign any kind of pro contract, you can't go back. U Sport will take you over. Like here in Canada, you can sign a pro deal, and that's kind of the U Sport gimmick of how they get high level talent. And I don't really have an issue with that because the NCAA doesn't allow that. But I think that like if the NBA adapts this, and I don't understand why it's allowed in hockey and it's not allowed in the NBA. I guess it's the league rules or whatever. But I really think they should look into adapting this because I think that we'll see not only a low caliber of busts, and it is a slippery slope. And the next thing I'm going to say, but if you could start to see the like ability to draft guys out of high school. Like in hockey, you're drafting guys out of high school. A lot of them haven't even played in the NCAA yet. And by doing this, like these guys don't have to declare. They just are draft eligible. They're draft eligible for 3 years. You don't have to like do the full hockey system, but they're draft eligible for 3 years, and then they can sign with whoever they want. But in the NBA, you have to declare whatever, and you usually have to go to a year of college first. But back to my point, like it just is so logical. Like it's almost too logical for the NBA to not take.
Yeah, I do. The one thing that I do wonder, and we didn't talk about this previously, but I was thinking about this just because there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft. If you allow players to be eligible for that full 3 years, do you maybe add an extra round or two to the NBA draft? Like in the NHL, we have seven rounds, right?
Yeah, 7.
So if you like maybe you add an extra round or two, and then there's more possibilities for guys to develop in the G League after college as well, like we see in the NHL with the farm systems and things like that. I don't know. I think the obvious solution though is once like if we're going to put it all in a wrap a bow on it, like the obvious solution has to be once you've signed a pro contract with an NBA team, you are no longer eligible for college basketball in the NCAA.
Yeah,
But
or pro
until
contract
then,
period above the age of 18 or something for the European guys.
yeah, yeah, I agree. And then, but up until then, like, sure, let guys continue to develop in the NBA, even or in the NCAA, even if they've been drafted by NBA teams. Like, I don't see a problem with that at all.
Yeah, and the other thing to consider is that you're going to boost your name value in the NIL deal. Oh, look at us. We just got this 3rd-round pick from the Charlotte Hornets. Like, all of a sudden, that guy's he might be playing for a high major, but he might be playing for a mid-major. That'll boost the notoriety of these mid-majors and give them bigger name values. The NIL deals will start to roll in. And I know we discussed salary caps and stuff in our in-person episode, and I do think that there should be an avenue of like revenue sharing, and if you're going to have it, there should be like a salary floor. I think that that's the way. You disagreed, but like regardless, like if you have these players who are drafted and still playing in NCAA, you're going to make people want to watch more.
Yeah, 100%. Like your favorite team drafted a guy out of Illinois in the 2nd round. You want to watch that guy, right?
Yeah, I would never watch an Illinois basketball game, but if the Raptors had a prospect playing for Illinois, then I'll tune in.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's March Madness, obviously. But
Yeah. But yeah, and like let's touch on the salary cap idea quickly because I do think it's a good idea. Like I don't disagree with the salary cap. I think the cap floor would be difficult for some of the smaller schools to get to and everything like that. Like you talked about revenue sharing, yeah, but I just think you can't force schools to pay a certain amount in NIL money. But I think having a cap is a great idea.
yeah, and like when I say revenue sharing, I mean like revenue sharing of NIL money. And I think that right now the system is broken where a rich guy can just get a tax write-off by giving his alma mater like $20 million to go get a quarterback and like whatever. Like I know there's rumblings of this already like being put in place, but there just needs to be some kind of system because it's not fair the way that it is right now. It's not fair. And we see it more in football, I would say, than basketball, but like it's starting to trickle down to basketball quickly. And then once it trickles down from basketball, like who knows where it's going to go. They're just, I think that the fairness of a salary floor will just spread the talent more evenly and make the games better, more competitive. We'll see less like blue blood dominance, you could say. But it's just something that, whatever it is, something needs to be done. I think a salary cap is perfect, but I think if you put a salary cap, you have to have a salary floor as well. If you're going to have revenue sharing.